there and welcome to my channel, The Debt Free Quilter. Yes, I'm hiding in my kid's bedroom because it's nap time and the toddler minion has decided he's going to be very sensitive to my voice today. He was upset with me editing earlier. I'm not playing. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? Let's make some 9 patches. Seems easy, right? And it is. And once again, I'm going to show you a couple different techniques to get you into that skill set. Slightly more complicated than the 4-patch was, but not hard. Not hard at all. Let's get started.
Step 1. You need squares. Several squares, 9 of them to be exact, and you want to lay them out in a pleasing manner. For the first technique, we're just going to sew squares in the web piecing method. Means I'm sewing 2 squares and then the next 2 squares and then the next 2 squares until I have all 3 rows sewn together. Now I'm finger pressing my seams in opposite directions, and then I'm going to add that 3rd square to each row. Okay, I'm still not cutting those apart, and I'm going to go press them again, making sure the rows are in opposite directions so that they will nest nicely. Now I'm going to sew on the first row, then I'm going to open that up and finger press it and just sew on the next row before I go press. Make sure those seams nest real nice right there so your block is nice and flat. And now we give the block a nice press, and there you go. No reason to cut your blocks apart or anything. Just press it and there you go. Okay, and the second way that I'm going to show you to sew a 9-patch is literally we sew 2 together, we break thread, and then we sew the 3rd row on. We're just doing 1 row at a time. I'm going to continue doing this for all 3 rows, and then I'm going to press them and sew them together the same way I did the web piecing, except all 3 rows will be individual units. Pressing these individual units the same way. 2 need to go one way, 1 needs to go the opposite way, and then we're going to just sew them all together. checking to make sure everything nested well. And now we're going to move to the iron and press the block. Option number 3 is strip piecing our 9 patches. This is a good way to make a lot of the same 9 patches over and over and over again in a very quick manner. Now we've got our strips set out in opposite colorways. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to sew my strips. Now I have sewn 2 sets of 2 strips out of 6 together. And like I said, these are going to be opposite colorways, and when you do this, make sure you know which side you need to press to. For example, instead of pressing to the blue, I'm strictly pressing towards that purple. And once again, back at my pressing station, I am still pressing toward that purple. That way I know everything is going to nest when I put it all together. All right, I've got everything pressed. Now I'm getting everything cut, making sure I score up that one edge right there that I cut off already. And then I'm gonna show you what they're gonna look like. Now here's what I mean when I say opposite colorways. In one block, I'm going to have purple on the outside and blue on the inside. And the other block is going to have blue on the outside and purple on the inside. Honestly, it's just really nice block to make. And now I'm going to sew these blocks together just like I did the others and press them out really, really nicely. And here we go, we're gonna press these blocks, and they really are super, super pretty. Okay, and here is the actual block y'all wanted to see. This block is made with 4-inch squares. The actual size dimensions for a 10.5-inch 9 patch are 3 7/8 if you really want to get specific, but I used 4-inch squares because I can trim down. A 1/4 inch on each side is not going to take away from the visual effect of the block. So if you want to use 4 inches, awesome. I am once again using the web piecing method with this block. In my humble opinion, it is pretty quick to do this way, and it just makes it easier when something is easy to do. And I'm pressing these again in opposite directions. The first and third rows should go one way, the center rows should go the opposite of those. And now I will nest my seams very carefully and sew all my units together, and this is a really pretty block.
And there we have it. Some easy ways to make 9 patches. Blocks one row at a time, web piecing our blocks, and strip piecing our blocks. And then of course we have this very lovely example right here. Now, I don't have the other examples to show because most of them ended up in my spectacle of scraps in month 5. So, I'm afraid I don't have those examples to show you today, but what I do have is a very pretty, very easy block that anyone can make. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Quilting 101 Back to the Basics. Be sure to check in next week on Miss Tracy Mooney's channel. You'll know her as so supportive. And we'll see you back next time. Y'all have a great day. Have a great week. We'll catch you in the next video.